Katie Lusso joining us again here. Katie, we are 3 weeks down into this, right? Verdict watch. We heard weeks of testimony, countless evidence, and the moment now falling today.
It's
any
happening.
Moment now.
Right. Yeah,
the fate of Brendan Banfield.
Right. We've been waiting all day to see if this was going to happen. We know that the jury went into deliberations Friday afternoon, right at 12:30 in the afternoon. They did take that 1-hour lunch break. They continued until 4:30 in the afternoon, and they came back this morning at 10 a.m. and they got straight to work. We do know they took a 1-hour break, but really in the last hour or so, things started to progress. I've been talking to Matthew Torres, our reporter in the courtroom, and he told me about a half an hour ago, the bailiff went in to check on them and was told, hey, we need another 5 minutes, which raised a red flag for us, or a green flag, if you will. Then went back, heard maybe 3 minutes or so, and now we are hearing that this announcement of the verdict could come possibly at 5 p.m., so any moment, really.
Okay, so to bring folks up to speed here, Brendan Banfield is facing a total of 4 charges.
Right.
2 counts of aggravated murder, also a firearms charge and a child endangerment charge. If convicted, he is facing life in prison.
Right.
As for Juliana Magalhaes, the au pair, the live-in nanny, she pled guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter, looking at time served and more than likely being sent back to her home country of Brazil. So that is where things stand. I know earlier, for those of you joining us on our YouTube channel, WSA 9, you've been able to ask us a lot of questions. You've been able to comment on a lot of things. And one of the big questions was, what about the death penalty in this case, right? Well, let's just be clear that in 2021, Virginia Governor Ralph Northam abolished the death penalty in Virginia. So if convicted, Brendan is facing life in prison.
A life sentence, right. And we know that Juliana Peres Magalhaes would likely be deported back to Brazil. So that is what would happen with her next. I know a lot of people have been asking what happens if he is found innocent.
Right.
Well, she still upheld her end of the deal, if you will. So she would likely have a sentencing hearing. When that would happen, probably the next month or so, but not clear.
Also, regarding the charges, we should mention that this is a all or nothing deal.
Right.
Frank Salvedo, our legal expert, has been really explaining how this breaks down. And he said, basically in layman's term, it's a all or nothing package deal. You're going to find him guilty on all of these charges or not, right? So let's also talk about the waterfall note.
Right. So that's regarding the aggravated murder charges. So either they're going to find Brendan Banfield guilty of murdering both Christine Banfield, his wife, and Joseph Ryan, the other man that they allegedly lured to the home, or it's a not guilty for both of them. You can't find guilt of one of their deaths and not the other. So that's what that really means.
Okay. When it comes to the jury, this is we had jury selection on Monday the 12th, right? And I've been saying how surprising it was that they were able to seat a jury so quickly in one day because of the high profile of this case. But we're talking about 12 jury members here, broken up as 7 women, 5 men.